Subscribe to Gizmo Times and get notified about our latest videos by hitting the bell icon. One is a very well-known brand and an established one in India already, and the other one is a relatively newer one. But then both the brands offer phones in the similar price range. So let's compare them. Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and we are comparing the Xiaomi Redmi 5 with the Infinix Hot S3. Both the phones that we are comparing here are with 3GB of RAM and 32GB storage, and both are available at Rs 8,999. So let's go on with the comparison. Firstly, with the screen size, both the phones come with almost the same screen size, that's 5.65 inch on the Redmi 5 versus 5.7 inch on the Infinix Hot S3. Thankfully, both of them have the same 18:9 aspect ratio and 720x1440 pixels of screen resolution. While on the Redmi, there's Gorilla Glass 3 protection for the scratch resistance, but then the Infinix Hot S3 doesn't seem to have any such protection given on the screen. With the build and the body, both the phones are quite good to hold at, but then the Redmi 5 seems much more comfortable to use and to hold because it's quite slimmer. And not just about the slimness, but then about the comfort of use because of the curvy body makes the Redmi 5 a better choice when it comes to the build quality and the comfort to use. Next is with the performance. The Snapdragon 450 powers Redmi 5 versus the Snapdragon 430 that powers the Infinix Hot S3. Both the phones have an octa-core processor, but then the Snapdragon 450 is said to have much more better performance. When it comes to the interface, it's the MIUI interface on the Xiaomi Redmi 5, which is based on Android Nougat, but then the Infinix Hot S3 comes with the XOS based on the Android Oreo 8.0. While it, as always, is the case that the interface depends on the user's own preference, both the phones have a lot of features that are unique to themselves. So in this case, if you talk about the Android version, it's the Infinix Hot S3 having the latest Android OS at least. Talking about the cameras, there's a 12 megapixel camera on the Redmi 5 and a 13 megapixel camera on the Infinix Hot S3 on the back. Both the phones have the face detection autofocus for the faster focusing, but if we talk about the actual quality again, Redmi 5 is able to capture a bit better shots when we talk about the regular captures. On the front though, there's a lot of difference where the Infinix Hot S3, which we also called as one of the best selfie phones in this price range, have a 20 megapixel front facing camera with the LED flashlight. Although the Redmi 5 as well has an LED flashlight, but there's a 5MP camera, and there's a lot of difference not just with the resolution but also with the quality of the capture that is done here. The Infinix Hot S3 surely is better when we talk about the selfies. Next, moving on to the battery life. There's a 3300 mAh battery that powers the Xiaomi Redmi 5, and that compared to the Infinix Hot S3 is lesser when we talk about the capacity because the Infinix phone comes with a 4000 mAh battery. In the real life performance as well, although sometimes we feel that the chipset optimization might get the battery life to be better, but then here the Infinix Hot S3 seems to have a bit better battery life when compared to the Xiaomi Redmi 5. Now, a couple of things are common with the phones where the fingerprint sensor is present on both the phones on the back of them, and they work almost the same way, and the recognition as well is almost at par with each other. One advantage of the Xiaomi Redmi 5 over the Infinix Hot S3 is the presence of the IR blaster on the top. That helps as a quick remote functionality whenever needed. But then the Infinix Hot S3 has something that is not present on the Xiaomi Redmi 5, that is a dedicated microSD card slot. Both the phones support USB OTG, and that is again a common feature on them. They also have the micro USB port and the speaker towards the bottom. So there are quite a few common things as well, but then there are some differences which might be the major factors for you to decide which phone is better for your preference. So to wrap up this comparison, these are the few things that we feel are important for you to know. Firstly, with the body again, Redmi 5 is slimmer but is a bit heavier despite having a smaller battery. The Infinix Hot S3 has a better selfie camera, but while we talk about the performance, it's the Redmi 5 that does a better job. The rear camera is almost comparable as said, but when you talk about how the storage can be managed, there's a dedicated microSD card slot on the Infinix Hot S3. Also, the last point to be mentioned is about the face unlock on the Infinix Hot S3 that is just rolled out as a software update to the users. So that is one feature that the Redmi 5 lacks, and that is present on the Infinix Hot S3. So if you are trying to choose one of these two smartphones, you'll have to check on what you prefer. So this was the comparison between the two phones, the Xiaomi Redmi 5 and the Infinix Hot S3. Do comment below if you have any other questions and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.